All right, this is the third video in my video series that I've been making. The first one was on core values. The second one was on your personas. And today I'm going to be talking about the 3 ways and only 3 ways that a business can make money. So number 1 is to get new customers. Number 2 is to get those customers to buy from you more frequently. And the third way is to get those customers to buy more expensive things from you. So what I like about this model is that it really helps you focus where your efforts are going, where your money's going, where your new initiatives and all that might be going to see at what stage of those 3 things, maybe are you doing well in, and maybe you're doing not so well, that you have some opportunity to get better. So to start, getting new customers is fundamental. This is probably what everyone's most familiar with. All your marketing, all your advertising, everything you do, word of mouth, is to get more customers into the door or onto your website to make a purchase. So it is the most expensive because these people don't know who you are. You're using your all your efforts of customer service, marketing, etc., to build trust, to build authority, to build all these things that someone is going to say, I'm going to buy from you and not from your competitor. So all that trust building and brand recognition and all that, it takes time and money. So once you get those customers into the door, though, you have 2 more ways that you can re-engage them to make more money from them. And so the second is getting those people to buy from you more repeatedly. So let's think of an example of a jewelry store. You spend all this time, money, and effort to get people in, and they buy, let's say, an engagement ring, maybe. So what's next? Well, then maybe the wedding ring. They buy from you more frequently. You can send out to all the people who bought engagement rings an email or an ad saying, hey, we're running the special, buy your wedding ring, or buy an engagement ring, get your wedding ring for 10% off, or whatever that deal may be. Or it's something totally different. Hey, you bought from us before. We got these cool bracelets. We got these cool necklaces. Here's stuff for your anniversary, for your birthdays, for whatever, of any time that they might be needing to buy jewelry. You want them to be coming back to you. So it's easier to get in touch with them. You don't have to reestablish that trust and relationship because you've already done it, assuming you've done a good job of it and you haven't dropped the ball somewhere. So that's how you get people to buy more repeatedly from you. Or restaurants often have, or coffee shops have those punch cards, frequent buyer cards. Or a photographer might get someone in for engagement photos, maybe then do baby shoots, maybe do family reunions, other ways that they can get that same customer to keep using their photography services. So on the third end, it's getting someone to buy something more expensive from you. So maybe they're not going to be buying from you frequently, but you can have that kind of high-end thing for someone who is the most engaged, who's the biggest fan of yours because they're willing to spend that money. So for for a jewelry store, it might be like, hey, here's something we don't show many people. This thing is $50,000, but we think you might like it. And so part of your job as a business owner, or the marketer's job, is to know, well, who are your customers are willing and able to spend that money for it, because you're also providing them more value, providing them with something that they can't maybe get somewhere else, and you're going to charge more for it. Or for a photographer, to use that example again, maybe it's like, hey, I'll follow you around for a week on your vacation and shoot the whole thing, and that's going to be something crazy expensive, but there are people who would be willing to spend that. And I think I saw an article that there was a couple that hired a photographer to come with them on vacation for that very reason. So that's a way that a photographer could even differentiate their services to get something on the highest end possible for that small group of people who are willing to pay significantly more than other folks. For restaurants, it's things like catering. So if I'm in a coffee shop buying a $2, $3 cup of coffee, well, if I have an office event or a staff appreciation or something, I might be spending $300 on coffee to serve a couple hundred people. So that's a more expensive item, and it's common in a lot of industries like restaurants or jewelry stores. They have different price points, different products, but they do that to engage people, to get them to buy more frequently, to get them to buy more expensive things. So that's the framework for it. So identify, how are you getting new customers in? That's probably where most of your efforts are already going. But then also think about, what are you doing with all your customers that you have? All the customers that you already got, you've got 2 more ways to re-engage them, to offer them more value and make more money from them, so you can get them to buy more frequently, or create a more expensive thing, an exclusive package that only a few people will buy, but it's a high price point that it makes sense, it's worthwhile for all parties involved. So consider that. How can that help your business? And you might be thinking referrals. I'll do a whole other video on referrals because that's a whole different beast. But referrals is just a way to get your existing customers to bring you new customers. So it's kind of a combination of a couple of those things. But what it comes down to, it's, that goes back into the new customer realm. So it still fits in those three things. But that's why referrals warrants its own video, because there's a whole amazing way to kind of tap everything and have good source of income for your business. So hopefully that helped you think about your business in a very strategic way.